Hello, I'm Denver Henderson, the Assistant Director of the Williams County Public Library, with another episode of Oddly Peculiar coming from the Bryan Jubilee 2025. The history of the Jubilee is very interesting. This square has held host to community events since it was founded. Usually it was the Independence 4th of July parade celebrations. But in the middle 20th century, around 1932, the City Fathers decided to hold a horse show. As all the local farmers and business people owned horses, this collective would come into town and all the activities were centered around horses. Horse pools, horse judging, horse riding, and they even had a horse parade with a king and a queen. However, as agriculture became mechanized and horses became less and less a part of daily life, the City Fathers decided to have a carnival. The Bryan Jubilee was born in 1947. The Jubilee has developed over the years from a small little parade and a few little concessions to what we see today. Rides were added in the 1950s, and the concessions were usually by civic groups like the Kiwanis or the Lions, who would set up booths selling hot dogs and popcorn. It became a facet of city life throughout the 1950s and 60s. But unfortunately, in the late 1990s, the Jubilee, lost its luster. Attendance was down and it became a little more of an economic burden, so they decided to suspend it, and they created the Day in the Park. Also, another group of citizens decided that they were going to hold a music festival called the Fountain City Festival. And even though the Jubilee did come back in the 2000s, those two events, the Day in the Park and Fountain City Festival, continue to this day. Though FCF is no longer a music festival, they put on a large musical every summer at the Arts and Ed Center. The Jubilee came back in full force. More concessions, more rides, and more people. However, the duration of time that it was held was truncated from 1 week to 3 days. Now, I think there's an unofficial tradition with the Jubilee. You wouldn't tell it now, but earlier today it was raining. It rains at least one of the 3 days. And the parade, which is always held on Saturday, is always the hottest day of the year. This year it's going to be 93 degrees. So, from a horse parade down Main Street to all of these people out enjoying a summer night, the history of the Bryan Jubilee is not only delightful, but oddly peculiar.